In this video, we're going to make this mini grandfather clock. This is a Steve Good pattern. I'm going to consider this part of my series of models, miniatures, and toys. It's mini. It's not real small, but it's very small compared to the original size of a grandfather clock. So that's going to be part of that series. So stay tuned, and we'll look at the pattern and the material that it'll make this out of. All right, we'll look at the pattern for this little project. There's several parts to it. Here's a black and white printout of what it looks like and what the parts are. You've basically got 3 boxes that you build, and then you have dividers in between them. Then you have some decoration that goes on them, and a little base that you cut out and put on the bottom. So there's a lot of just straight square pieces to build these boxes. So what I've done, I've already cut these on scroll saw. Each one has got here's the bottom 4 pieces for the bottom, and here's the 4 pieces for the middle one, and then you got the 4 pieces for the top one, and then you also got to cut the hole for the clock to go in, and then you got the decorative stuff right here. That goes around the clock. This is the crown that goes on the top, and that's these pieces right here. And then here's the base. So what I've done is, and then you got these dividers. You got 8 dividers of 2 different sizes, 2 of one size, 2 of another. I've taken those cut those on the scroll saw. It's just quicker and easier and more precise. And I've gone to each set and make sure that if they're supposed to be 6 inches, they're all exactly 6 inches. I had to do a little sanding to get everything exactly precise, and I may have to do some more sanding after I put each one together before I assemble the whole piece. But I'm intending to build the 3 boxes and then build them from the base up, putting the dividers in and sanding and shaping anything I want to as I go. Now this is out of a seconds package. I'm not even sure exactly what it is. It's slightly less than a 1/4 inch. I think it's a 1/16 less. I think with a little stain, it's got a pretty nice pattern on it. I think it'll stain that a little bit, darken it up just a little bit, make it look nice. And then this is mahogany that these pieces are cut out of. This is the same stuff as the boxes are made out of. The base is going to be cut out the same as this. But then I'm using mahogany left over from another project. And I think I may stain that slightly too. I'm not going to get real dark with it, but I want to darken it up a little bit and bring the grain out. Now here's the real issue I have with this, because I've got the clock. I don't have it in here with me, but I bought this clock that fits in this space. And it's also, like I say, you got to cut that hole there in the front of the top box. The issue is this program that I printed these out with, set it to the printer margins, and it's a 1/16 small. It's going to be okay, but if I cut that with a scroll saw, that clock face is not going to fit. I have a hole saw coming. That's supposed to be 2 3/8 inch. And I'm going to cut both of those with a hole saw, and that way they'll fit. I don't think it'll matter. The clock will be slightly bigger in relation to the body, very slightly. I didn't want to reprint the whole thing and start over again when I realized what was going on. As I was cutting them on the table saw, I realized that it was slightly off for some reason, and that's why it printed out slightly smaller. That's supposed to be 3 inches wide. It's not quite 3 inches. Same thing on these. That's supposed to be 2 1/2. It's not quite. It's very little difference, but it makes a difference here because I got to insert, and it's got a little bit of a give in it. But I'm going to go ahead and cut it with the hole saw when it comes in. I don't want to have to force it in or anything like that. So anyway, I've got to drill these holes. You got some holes right here. I'm going to cut these parts out. I'm not going to cut this out of this piece until after I cut this center hole. In fact, I may not take any of these out until after I do that. But anyway, that's the plan for the project. I got the sides for all 3 boxes built, but I got to cut this one out for the clock face, and I'll get these internal cuts done, and then when my hole saw comes in, I'll cut the entry for the clock to mount in. So I'll get these drilled, and we'll start doing some of these internal cuts. So in the interest of saving a little time, I've experimented with these patterns printed out. Make sure I get the right size. Instead of waiting on the hole saw, which will be here late this afternoon, I won't have time probably to put it in use till tomorrow. I kind of like to finish this today so I can move on to the next project. But I've experimented on a piece of scrap and printed this out at the proper size, and I know this works. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these 2 holes that the saw, the clock fits through with the scroll saw. It'll work fine because I've already tested it. So I know I've got the right size. So now I'll cut this one, and I'll finish cutting all the rest of them out and start putting it together. Well, I've got all the sides, all the pieces cut out, fronts, backs, and sides for each bottom box. There's the bottom, the middle, and the top. And you have the little base. And then you have the ornamental parts. This goes on the bottom box, the middle box. Of course, this goes where the clock is. And I've got this cut out to match that. And then you got the crown goes on top. I've also got these dividers, 2 different size dividers, 4 of each. They're over here. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to build it from the bottom up. I'm going to build a little base, make sure I get it square and that it fits the bottom, the box bottom fits on it properly. And then I'm going to kind of build them and sand them 1 box at a time, get them smoothed off and in shape. Build it up from the ground, and then before I do anything as far as ornamental and mounting the clock, I have tested the clock. It fits fine in these openings. And I'm going to stain this a little darker, but I'm going to assemble it first, and then before I glue these on, I will stain them also. I want these to be a little bit darker than the body of the box, so that's my plan right now. So I'm going to start. Like I say, I'll start at the base here, kind of look at the pieces and get them, make sure they're all the same size. I haven't checked the base against itself and against the bottom, but I'll do that, and then I'll start gluing it together. So I've got the main body of the clock put together, 3 boxes and the dividers, plus the little base. So now I'm going to stain this. I got a piece of the wood I cut some of that off of, and I put these 3 stains. This is the only 3 I have on hand right now. I'm going to go with this. That's an early American, and I've used that on a bunch of stuff. This one, this Golden McCoy, is nice, but sometimes it turns out with a reddish tint to it that I don't like. It looks fairly nice on this wood, but I want it a little darker. This is too dark for me for this particular part. But this, I think, looks real nice. The grain looks good in it. Now, this one looks kind of stringy in areas on this particular wood. So the other pieces, the accent decoration pieces, are mahogany. So I put that darkest stain on this mahogany, and I think that's going to, of course, once I get this stained, I'll hold this up to it and see how that compares. I may change my mind on that, but right now I'm going to go with this early American on this, and that dark walnut on the mahogany. I'm not going to put it real heavy on it, just we'll darken it just a little bit. And then when you seal it, sometimes that brings out, especially on mahogany, it seems to bring a depth out on it. So right now I'm going to stain this, and I may have to move it outside so the fumes don't carry into the house. My wife is real sensitive to that sort of thing, and I'm getting more so myself. So anyway, I'm going to stain it, give it a chance to set and drop a little bit, and then I'll also stain the mahogany after I do a comparison, and then I'll have to glue those pieces on, and then I'm going to seal it with some clear enamel or something, or clear enamel or lacquer, whatever I've got on hand. And then I'm going to mount the clock, and that'll pretty well be done. So I'm getting close. We're closing in on it. Yeah, I wanted to add one step I put in between this point and the sanding, the staining, is each of these boxes were sanded as I put them together and before I glued them on. So what I like to do, I like to get me a damp paper towel and rub it all over the wood, and that does 2 things. Number one, it raises the grain, and you can sand that back down and have it smooth before you put your stain on. But it also shows places that you can't see where the glue might be in the wood that will keep the stain from soaking in. You can find those spots when you use water first. And I marked them with a pencil, so when it dries I'll know where they are, and I'll go back and sand them back down again and then wet it again to make sure I got it clear. That keeps from having any spots in the stain, which is irritating. You can still sand that out and do it again, but I just want to do 1 coat of stain on it if I can. So anyway, I'm going to let that water dry off of it a little bit, and I'll sand it all down again, especially where it showed to have a little glue on it. So there's the finished product. I've got it sealed. I got everything finished on it. It looks like it turned out pretty well. It was a very satisfying build, and it was very enjoyable to do. I hope you like that, and if you do, hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see what I can add to this series of minis, downsized toys, model, a series that I've got going here. So thanks for watching, and hope to see you in the next video.